I just saw on Twitter. It's actually something I feel like that's like more promising. Obviously, the stuff surrounding it sucks, but it seems more promising. It probably won't happen, but I mean, I literally saw, because there's mass protests protesting Netanyahu in Israel right now, like mass protests, and I literally saw Republicans against Trump tweeting about it. So like, I feel like if Republicans against Trump is tweeting about it, your narrative is cooked. Like, it already was cooked for a while, but it's extra cooked. That thing is burnt. Like, you need to stop, because it's not working. Like, no. I mean, I don't think it was working before anyway, but like, now the Republicans against Trump is tweeting it, no. You gotta stop. You gotta stop big time. It's like, my god. Yeah, and also apparently I saw too that like there's several like Israeli headlines that like are critical of Netanyahu and all that, but you don't see that in the US. And yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they also have like opposition striking in Israel now. Like the resistance opposition, I think it's opposition leader called on for like strikes and everything. Not missile strikes, economic strikes. But yeah, they want to cripple them, even though I think the US, with how complicit they are, they're still fine. It doesn't matter if they do anything, unless they were to somehow freaking embargo. Not embargo, what is the word I'm thinking of? Like, cut off the trade. But I don't think they'd be able to do that. Like, intercept it. I can't think of the word, because there's definitely a word for that, and I can't think of it. Shoot. Maybe if I played Hoi 4 recently, I would know, but my game crashes whenever I play Hoi 4 now. Because, yeah, my computer crashes a lot more now. I think it is a problem with the graphics card, because a lot of times it just says it's not using it at all, like that 0. So I think it's definitely something with that, but like it works fine enough to where it's like not that annoying, even though Hitman has crashed a couple of times recently, but other than that, it's not too annoying. Yeah, I think that's the one thing as far as like politics I want to talk about. It's like, yeah, now that even like Republicans against Trump, granted it was only like 24,000, I think I saw like impressions about it, but still, if they're tweeting about it, like, come on, man, you gotta stop. Like, that's insane. Also, I'm not even sure if who runs Republicans against Trump is even a Republican, honestly, at this point. Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, it's a very popular thing to be like, hey, let's stop funding a genocide. And yet they still do it because money. That's why they want the money. And we're a falling empire, so screw domestic policy. We get it by money. And this is why China has passed us, because I don't know if you noticed, but they haven't been in really any wars. They've just worked on domestic policy, and guess what? It's worked. Like, stuff going on domestically, and that's keeping them strong. You know, not starting wars and having a bunch of people die. That's kind of honestly irrelevant to America. Yeah, also the like strongest military thing doesn't make any sense either, because like we're not going to be invaded, right? Like, the only two countries that, if their military was strong enough, could realistically take over the US is Canada and Mexico. And that's it. And their militaries are way smaller. You know? Like, I'd understand, like, helping out similar movements, similar causes, like overthrowing fascism and all that. But, like, you know, it's another thing just to have the strongest military and just spend all that money on ultimately nothing. You know? Or just, like, doing it for money. like that just help those people have more money. Like, that's another thing. But yeah. But I think that's mostly. There was also the Aurora protest, which I think is also based on racism, because I think there's a bunch of like quote-unquote vigilantes against Venezuelan gains. Oh man. Oh yeah, and it was also a lie, wasn't it? That's neat too. Yeah. Yeah. They're just hanging out. Yep, it's entirely based off of racism. Nice. Oh yeah, it was the Hells Angels, wasn't it? Which I think they're a fascist group. So yeah, they just were racist. Awesome. Fun. I feel like the problem also, like the whole Israel Palestine thing, of like not like just staying complacent or complicit and just helping the genocide is like, I feel like they're also running on a platform of unity, and you're not uniting with that like at all. It's not united. What are we talking about? You literally brought Walski's like, hey, the uncommitted vote, we should probably like, you know, worry about that, and then they just didn't because they just spat in the face of it. Like, what are you talking about? Freaking Republicans against Trump is reporting on it, dude. Like, stop. Just stop. Like, also your propaganda is very clearly not working because most people support an arms embargo. Your propaganda is not working. It's a different era now. You can't just say stuff and on the mainstream and just be like, oh hey, look, see, this is happening. No, that's not how it works. Times are changing, old man and lady. God dang it. Cause it's a dumb move, like morally and electorally. Cause like, what are we doing? Like, most people support it. You wouldn't lose like anybody except like the crazy liberals who are like, yeah, Israel's really cool. But I think those are like the people who just believe everything like Biden says. It's probably those people, you know, like they believe everything the Democrat Party says. It's the same cult like status that MAGA has. It's just obviously probably a lot smaller. I'm not sure about a lot smaller, but definitely smaller. But yeah, it's real frustrating. That's for sure. Like, but like, this is what happens when you're just complicit in like what you're given as choices in presidential elections, you know? It's why protesting actually is good. Because sure, they're not listening now, but like they're going to eventually if you're loud enough about it, and you put enough of a threat over them, you know. I'm not saying like, you know, threaten their lives. I'm saying like electorally threaten them, like, then yeah. Because I was thinking about that with like nationalizing, because obviously if you see in the bottom left corner, yeah, you probably know what economic ideology I like, but but when it comes to like nationalizing the stores, which is just like the government controls the prices, like, because I was thinking like it's probably gonna take longer than like overthrowing the government, right, and putting in a communist government. But the thing is also like, as long as the government's like actually like saying like this is the person who's doing that, like, I feel like you need to do that, honestly. And like, I think on Twitter it happens, but it's not like by actual representatives, it's just by people. I guess they're like thinking like, oh, it's gonna bring more political instability, but like, I think honestly if we had recalls, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because they would just call for a recall and then they're gone. you know? I'm sure John Fetterman would be gone by now, you know? Like, people like that. JD Vance would probably be gone now. Like, it's so dumb that we don't have recalls at the federal level. It doesn't make any sense. Like, the more I thought about it, like, the more I'm like, yeah, we should have recalls in federal elections. Because I think we have in, like, the state and local level, but we just don't have it federal for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. And I feel like also that would push towards progress, because once people see they're not doing what they want them to do, they're gone. You know? People aren't going to kick out Bernie. You know? Like, because he's doing what people actually want, or at least trying to fight for it. And so it's like, yeah, no, people aren't going to kick Bernie out. They're going to kick out, like, the John Fetterman who says, like, they're going to be progressive and then aren't. And then that's another thing, too. It puts an accountability over them to make sure that they actually follow through on it. You know? There's also that as well. You can't just go off with progressive rhetoric and then just go centrist, you know? Because people will take note of that. And will try to oust you because of that. Because the thing is also, Fetterman won by 5, you know? Like, I think they would be fine if they did another Senate race. You know? To get a new candidate. Now, to be fair, Dr. Oz sucked as a candidate, but, like, also, all the, like, candidates suck. The only reason, like, the Ohio one's so close is because Ohio is so red. Because even Bernie sucks. Moreno. Not Sanders. Sanders is great. Moreno sucks. But yeah. I will say with the projections, I do agree. And, like, I think they're honestly underselling Democrats in, like, most areas except Michigan. I think they're overselling Michigan for Democrats. Especially since, like, all of this is happening. I have a feeling that it's going to be a Hubert Humphrey type thing where in, like, October she's going to be like, okay, yep, we're good. And then she's not going to get the votes to win Michigan. Like, I think she'll be fine. I don't think it'll be a Hubert Humphrey where she loses because of that. But, again, like, every vote matters. You know? And you're just wasting it. Like, if you ran on any sort of, like, semi-progressive thing, you would be fine, you know? But you're wasting it, like, it's such a, it sucks, dude. Like, what are you doing, man? Also, yeah, they removed Kennedy from, like, all of these, but I'm pretty sure you still can vote for Kennedy in, like, several of those states. Actually, yeah, they removed him from all of them. Even though, yeah, he said he also was going to stay on non-swing states on the ballot. Which, again, doesn't make any sense, but okay. Sure. Like, I just don't understand, too, when, like, they have all this pressure and then they're just like... I think it's their cockiness showing. Because they're like, oh, we're ahead by, like, so much. We don't need to worry about it. But, like, you do. You do need to. Because it seemed like before... they were running as if they were the underdog, right? So they were actually making good choices. But now that they've gotten all this momentum, they're like, oh, we don't need to worry about it. And so they're just not. I mean, good on them, I guess, for still going for swing states. So, like, they haven't changed on that, but, like, it's still so odd. Like, they just got so cocky, like, overnight, and it's very odd. Like, they were gonna meet with the uncommitted movement, and I think there was going to be a speaker, or they just had a panel, which they did have one. But, like, it's just weird. These moves are weird, right? Like, they don't make any sense electorally. Like, after the Tim Walz VP pick, all of it's just kind of gone downhill of, like, their choices and how good they are. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm assuming it's because she has the liberal mindset of, like, oh, compromise. But then I think they did always forget is that, hey, they're not going to change. They're not going to compromise on the left-wing stuff. And that's just something you're going to have to accept. That's why you need to do anti-stuff and, like, go the other direction. Because they're not budging, so you should not budge either. But you are budging. And that's the problem. Like, it sucks. I gotta have school, what, in 2 days? I gotta stream on day of my first day of school. That's right. Yeah. I hate it so much. Cause yeah, like, it's so easy to win this election, dude. It's so easy. Literally, if you just said, like, arms embargo or, like, ending the genocide, something, man, of, like, taking an action to, like, stop the US's complicity with the war. Like, I guess you could argue she is doing that, but, like, just something with, like, an arms embargo, man. And then, like, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And you would have gotten those voters back, but now you're taking so long that I feel like you're still losing them. Like, even if you say it, you know, and then do it, I think you're still losing them. Like, a decent chunk of them. That's very bad. You don't want to get in that spot, man. It is so bad. Oh, is Dearborn a city? Yeah, which county is Dearborn in? Dearborn is in Wayne County. Yeah. Oh yeah, plus 30. Well, that's also Detroit too. Yeah. Suburban Detroit. Right. Yeah, nearing suburb Metro Detroit. Like, yeah, especially with how rural areas are, like, you have to comply with them. You have to. You can't just sit there and do nothing. Like, you have to do something. Like, just looking at this stuff electorally, I feel like, honestly, I know how to run a campaign that would just win pretty much every time. Like, and, like, I feel like that's not being overconfident, especially against, like, a Donald Trump. Like, it's so easy to win against him. Or, like, any far-right, like, lunatic. It's so easy, and yet they're not doing it. Because they're, like, essentially, like, the same thing. They just mask it and are, like, slightly more to the left. Like, they won't take away your rights, at least not right now. You know, like, it's stupid.
You're all set. That count it up and ship it around the globe stage.
This one's going to Thailand.
And I like how I was like, that's the only thing I want to talk about politics, and it was like kind of alright, and then I ranted about how politics suck. Or like American politics. Well, it's just because it's so dumb, because like we should even be even in an electoral college situation, right? We should be talking about this. It should be done and over with, but like no. Because like I'm also saying that with the electoral college setting as well. And yet, like, nope. This doesn't happen. Oh yeah, free healthcare for all. Nah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Like, awesome. You only are screwing yourself over with that one. I'm chewing eyes. Hang on. Like, yeah, I'm guessing, like, why they're doing that, though, also, is just because, like, oh, I don't want to be called these, like, names, even though, like, Tim Walz just owns up to it. So it's also, like, yeah, that's literally how you fight them. It's just you do that as well. Like, why is this a conversation? Why are you still scared about it? Are you really that much of a centrist? Like, my god. It's insane. Like, these people on the right don't care being called radical. I mean, they care about being called weird, but, like, they don't care about being called radical. Because they know that. And like, yeah, it just sucks, man. I hate it. Yeah, it feels like to me New Mexico should have more electoral votes. Like they just have 5, but it feels like to me they should have like 6 or 7. I mean, it is what it is, you know. They got 3 Democratic representatives because of it. They were Nevada. Wow, even with Las Vegas, really? Wow. Only by +5 was the highest. Pretty sure one of those was literally just like straight up freaking Las Vegas. Bam. I also like how Hawaii's representative district is Honolulu and then the rest of Hawaii. I mean, it makes sense, but like, it's still funny to me. It's like, yep, that's how it is. Yeah, remember when Tim Walz just won in the district that like is very Republican now? That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I think also representative districts also probably show like how it's changed as well. So like rural and all that, like that divide. God, these districts look so gross and ugly. Why is these like the ugliest things in the world, dude? I hate it. It freaking sucks. Like, what are these? God, the gerrymandering. I think Ohio will perform a little bit better since they have the gerrymandering thing on the ballot. But like, obviously it's not gonna be that close, but it'll probably do a little better than what it did last time. I don't know, cause let me look at. It's only got more Republicans. Oh no, it was like a slight improvement from 2020. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I think it's probably still gonna be around 8 for sure. Because I don't know how much more red the rural areas can get, honestly. Like, how much more red can they really get at this point? Yeah. If they just appealed to rural voters, though, like, that's all they need. It's really not that hard. You just break the labeling of the rural areas. That's all you gotta do. It's really not that hard, actually. If you just remind everybody, like, we're all the same species. You know? Like, if you really dive into it, we're all the same person. You know? We're like all the same, we're not that different. Obviously, we're all special and unique, but like, you know, we're the same species. And what does the same species do? They help each other. They don't fight each other. Like that, I feel like is really all you gotta do. And then bam. Just like that. I do think, yeah, Democrats are gonna do better in the House because it's an election year, and so obviously Democrats and voter turnout's gonna be higher. Yeah. Okay, well there's a half hour of me talking about politics. Ah, Jesus. Jesus, man. Oh, I feel like I want to burp. Hang on. Oh, there it was a little bit. Oh, there was a little bit more. Oh, God. All right. Let me see if the music's going. Hooray, it is. All right. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna be streaming for like 2.5 hours because it's like, oh, I don't want to really talk about lighthearted stuff like I did last stream. But to be fair, it was like literally like the end of this like I was at time, so it makes sense. And like that was the only thing I was talking about. But now I have like 2 hours. And so I might talk a little bit more about lighthearted stuff. I feel like also it's better because it just shows up the duality of me. So if I make like shorts and then people are like, oh, this is from the same stream, and then like, hey, you know what? You know, I'm interested in politics and VTubers. Good God. I mean, there's more than that, but like obviously, like, you know, it's a big duality. But yeah. So I saw some of the enigmatic stuff that Hololive was doing, like EN. It seems very interesting. Like, I think it is a neat idea. I'm still not entirely sure how it works, because like there's like animations of it, so I'm not sure if like the animations on the main channel, like with what they do with like Callie, they're like kind of like cutscenes, for lack of a better term, or like what, and like what they do in like the Minecraft server is what's going down with the story. So I'm still very confused on where the animation part and when are the streams overlap, but maybe you'll find that out. I will say though, from what I saw from clips, I've learned two things: is that one, they're all Randy Orton, they all have voices in their head, and then two, at least half of them have a gambling addiction, and it's not great. I think the best way to sum it up is someone in the comment of one of the clips I saw was like, God help them if they have a concert in Las Vegas. It's like, yep, that's very true. Because like, yeah, sure, I'm sure some of them are like, obviously would be responsible about it, but like, always seeing that, man, it does worry me, like a little bit, of just being like, oh God. Like, that's why I even like don't really like gambling in games. Well, one, because it's too risky and I know what my luck is, and then two, it's like, I know how addictive of a personality I have. If I make this a short, I'm going to show like the 8 straight streams of Tekken 8 I was playing, dude. Like, and like the multiple like back-to-back streams I've had. Like, I know my personality, you know. So like, I feel like it's in my best interest to not do it. Even if it seems fun, like, yeah, I'm a pass. Although I will say, with how many of them did the gambling, if the ending last stream of that does not end with a mass gambling section with all of them, I'm going to be disappointed. It should end with all of them gambling. Like, even once they defeat the big bad, gambling section. Gambling session. Perfect. I will say, good thing it only extended to Ian though, because if it was ID as well, Kyla probably would have beat the final boss in like 2 days. By herself. I did think though too, because I feel like it'd also be funny if Kyla's just one of the bosses, since it is a Minecraft server. It was like one of my first thoughts. I was like, dude, they make Kyla like one of the bosses. That's just her role now. She's just secret boss. First it was with Bwoo's 3D, and now it's with Kyla. Or it's now with Enigmatic. Enigmatic? It's so hard for me to say it now because like they put emphasis on the EN. Enigmatic. Like, it's Enigma. Enigmatic. It's so hard for me to say it because like the freaking EN, like, I'm sure like if it wasn't like their emphasis wasn't on there, it would be easier for me to say, but I can't say it. Enigmatic. Is it just enigmatic? Enigma. I can't say. I can say enigma, but I can't say enigmatic. God dang it. That's one of those words that are hard for me then. Those specific ones, man. Like thermodynamics and some other ones. Probably. That one's just hard for me. Enigmatic. 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 I'm losing my mind. You know, it is like part of me is like, yeah, I probably should have watched the stream just to like get a better understanding of it, because there's a lot of questions I have, and like I'm sure a lot of them were like answered while it was happening, but it's just like, yeah, I couldn't. I don't really watch the streams. I don't know. I just prefer to like watch VODs or like clips. I don't really like watching it live, which is ironic since I'm a live streamer, but yeah, it's just I prefer watching like VODs or clips. I think it's just because like I can pause it and like not feel bad about missing something. But I mean, I guess, yeah, you have the VOD, you can go back and watch it, but I mean, I still feel bad about it. I'm just like feeling like I'm gonna miss something. And now I'm yawning. But yeah, I did like some things they're going for, like how Bibu's actually being called Bijou now. I found that funny. It's like, yep, no more nickname. Actually just Bijou. And also I guess Gura changed her name to Gao Gura. So I guess like they changed their name slightly. I feel like it would suck in like a roleplay like that, and it's not that like I don't think I would be bad at roleplay or anything. I think it's just because like I'm someone who like, I guess is like an in to like meet someone and get to know someone. I drop references like all the time, and so like it'd be very hard for me to like go into a roleplay setting with people I know, but like to pretend I don't know them at all, because I'm someone who references stuff a lot. And so like I'd probably be stuttering way more than like I am now, because I'm like, wait, I can't say that, that wouldn't make sense, you know. I guess for me I would just have to like make my mind completely blank or something like that, or like somehow cut that part of my brain off or something, because like I'm sure I could do it, it just would be very hard for me, and I think a lot harder than like for other people. Because yeah, I'm someone who likes referencing stuff and like callbacks. It's something I just like doing. Maybe it's because I watch Tom Fox, but like I don't know, you know, like he does it all the time. Like, well, I think it's also just kind of like a, oh, they watch the thing, like they know, like that's neat. It's also kind of that. But yeah, it is a neat idea though, like as a roleplay, like to put like a bunch of people who already know each other pretty well. Well, I don't know if Ian really knows Justice that well, but you know, for the most part they know each other very well, and then pretending to like not know each other at all. I think it is a neat idea. And yeah, it also definitely like opens up a lot of stuff, because like they can just be ignorant about certain stuff, and it's really funny and can add to it. And just give each other new names. I thought initially like it was gonna be like an alternate timeline, because I thought that's like what the trailer was like implying. It was like an alternate timeline with all these characters, and like they first met each other. But I think it's actually like still them from like original them, but like they just went to the kingdom and just had like amnesia or something. So like that's interesting, especially since like Gura changed her name. I mean, Bibu's actual name is Bijou, but like that too. It was funny though, because actually going back to like how I would suck at the roleplay, I did see Narissa almost slip up. Because like they were telling her about Kiara, and she almost said Takanashi. I was like, wait a minute, I haven't heard that name yet. Can't say that. Like, I think that line of like Narissa slipping up for that like a little bit would just be me the entire time. I would just keep messing up, man. I think by the like If did it enough, I'd get used to it. But like, yeah, definitely at the beginning, man, I would keep screwing it up. But yeah, I do think it's a neat idea what they're doing. And also they should stop gambling. I feel like sometimes I'm just like the parent in the room's like, oh no. Even though I'm just watching, right? Like it's just like I'm a parent that's just like helpless to do anything. Just like seeing all of them like gamble and stuff is like, oh no. Someone needs to help them. I mean, at the end of it is content, right? So it is great, but like, you know, just gotta, as that one comment said, God help them if they ever do a concert in Vegas. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, this is going back to like I should probably watch the stream because I don't know how it is. And I should have just seen their schedules too. I'm not sure if like they're just gonna be doing this a bunch. Like, if they're only gonna be doing this RP, because like it is an RP server, during those streams, and then like after that, like oh they're back to normal, just like talking. Like how often these streams are happening, I guess. I'm sure like at the beginning they're gonna be pretty common, and then as it goes on, it'll probably be rare and rare. And like, I mean, it is also especially hard to get 19 people together. That's another thing. Well, I assume the first one was probably just like all of them together, and then after that they probably can do whatever on it, if I were to guess. Yeah, the thing is also though, it has a story to it, so I'm just hoping that none of them get bored of it, you know, because it seems like they're taking it with like a story as well. I mean, it is like a fresh, like it's Minecraft like modded server, so like I'm sure they'll be like, you know, they won't be bored, at least early on. You know, it'll take a bit, but yeah. Like, I would assume they also will just have normal streams and it's just like normal collabs, and it'll just be like, oh, it's like their normal selves again. Which, again, that's also what makes it weird about like if it's still the same person. Because like, what is the logistics of this, you know? I guess I'm a weirdo thinking about that, you know, because that's how my brain works. It's like, what, like, how does this work? You know, just whenever you walk through that realm, you know, like your brain, it gets zapped of all your knowledge and your memories, except Katy Perry lyrics apparently, because that Katy Perry lyrics are forever. It's funny because she's like, oh, I forgot the melody. It's like, all right. Let me just quote Katy Perry real quick. I mean, to be fair, it was true. She did kiss a girl. Well, I think it was the other way around, wasn't it? I think it was Liz kissed her. So it's technically not true, but logistics. Who cares? Yeah, it's weird because I think Liz is the one who's been the more flirtatious one than Narissa, which is interesting. I also think the guilds have been different than what they were showing in like the trailer and all that too. And like who also sang the main theme. Which yeah, I did also see a comment on that. I was like, man, they really pulled out the stop, like all the stops for that one, huh? Because yeah, it was Callie, Iris, Narissa, Elizabeth. It's like, yep. Man, they really pulled up all the stops for that one. They brought out the strongest hitters. I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't really hear the song all that much. It was one of those ones where I feel like it was a lot of noise, but I mean, it could have been also the like, I don't know, maybe I wasn't in like a quiet enough area to really listen to it. I don't know, but to me it just like kind of, I only heard noises. Like, I mean, I liked what I was hearing. It was just like I couldn't really hear the lyrics, especially when it got into the chorus. I was like, what are you saying? Or like who was singing either. I couldn't really tell. So yeah, maybe I wasn't just in 211 area when I heard it, but I was really like, I can't even hear, like, tell what's going on. I do like though how they're also using chat as like voices in their head. Randy Orton, man. If I was in that position, I definitely would have the chat just sing voices by Randy Orton. Well, not he didn't make the song, but Randy Orton's song. I would just have him sing that in the chat. Like, refresh my mind about like that one wrestler who had the song about voices in their head. And the chat would just sing it. I'm like, thank you. I mean, it's the same. It would be very similar to how Iris did with I Kissed a Girl, but it would be chat participation as well. So therefore, it's fun then. Yeah. Or Call Me Maybe. Honestly, with how addicted I am to Call Me Maybe, yeah, probably. I hate it. I had this with AJ Lee's theme before, now it's with Call Me Maybe. I just will have, again, with the addictive personality thing, I just get addicted to certain songs for some reason. I don't know why. I hate it. It's why, like, again, I won't gamble, because, like, I'm pretty sure I have a very addictive personality, so it'd be very disastrous if I were to get into gambling. Or any drug. So it's like, honestly, it's probably a good thing I'm not interested in doing that stuff. I was never interested. Same with, like, carbonation. Like, carbonated drinks. That's another thing. Because I think also that'd be very bad for me. And very addictive. So, yeah. I mean, I already have with McDonald's. I'm pretty sure I'm addicted to McDonald's. But, you know, it is what it is. Ugh. Only on this stream could I go from talking about Israel-Palestine to VTubers. I mean, that's the thing too, is like, I just don't think there's like a VTuber really that talks about politics a lot. At least like, not seriously. I'm sure like they bring up as jokes a lot, but I'm sure like seriously there aren't many. So like I feel like Honest would be like one of the first ones that do that. Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. I didn't think I could do something unique, but I guess that would be kind of unique. I think the problem is though, like why there isn't any like VTubers that are political analysis is that people are just gonna see the VTuber and then not take them seriously. They'll probably take like an actual person more seriously, which I feel like is stupid to like always judge that stuff on vibes, but I feel like it also just happens anyway. I think actually even talking about that when I was like really like first starting streaming when I was 14, I was like, well, people aren't probably gonna watch me because they notice how young my voice is and they just don't want to watch those people. And like again, it's kind of dumb. I'm pretty sure I've also gone through that where like if I don't like their voice, then like I don't watch them. But yeah, and I feel like I have that problem because I don't like how I sound. Because I feel like in my mind I sound low pitched, but like whenever I listen back to it, I'm like super high pitched, and I don't like it. I guess because I went through puberty, but still my voice is high. So like before it was real high, and then when I went through puberty it was a lot lower, but I didn't notice it. Yeah, I feel like it's another thing too. You just never notice when like your voice gets way lower. Because like, I told that to my friend. I was like, I don't think my voice really changed all that much. And like, no, it definitely did. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah. Well, I think also it's different with school because like, I think you're still like going through that process slowly, especially like over the summer. And like you will know it. Or like you're at least used to your voice. So it doesn't like, you don't notice it that much. And then like obviously if it happens like over the summer, then like yeah, it's very noticeable. You're like, wow, they sound way different. So yeah, that also happened. Well, to be fair, I think when I noticed with the one person, it was it was the span between COVID and the next year, and that was like 8 months. It was like longer than summer break than the last time I heard them. So I guess that makes more sense on why they sound so vastly different, but I feel like my point still stands. They would sound at least a little different, you know? Yeah. Hey, also another thing with that I find neat is like it seems like they're actually building more lore for their VTubers. Cause I'm a weirdo who likes lore. You know, I watch game theory for like the FNAF videos, you know, I like lore. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I'm sure a lot of people do that. I'm sure FNAF's like their most popular one. I watched a few of the other ones, but like it was also again mostly lore. I think that's honestly just because that's mostly what the theory channels have become. They aren't really allowed about like math and science at this point anymore, like they were before. But, and I really like those videos, you know, like they have many different variations of like the Mario Maker levels or like the Smash Ultimate fights. But yeah, I really like those videos. But I do think it's neat that they're adding more lore. Again, it's also like it does bring up like, is it alternate versions or is it themselves? Because I feel like from what I know about Callie is like she like was complicit with what the Grim Reapers were doing, and then all of a sudden she's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that now. It's like, oh, okay. Like, is it a different universe or not? I'm very confused. Like, I feel like it just has to be. Especially, like, if they're gonna do radio streams alongside it. I feel like that's the thing that would make the most sense. Is to say it's an alternate universe. Which I think they did on the freaking trailer. I feel like I'm losing my mind, but like... Let me look up the trailer of it again, because I feel like they said that in the description of it. I can't spell. Yeah, I feel like that's what happened. Yeah, once, like, because this is a description of the playlist. Once upon a time, the girls are summoned to the mysterious kingdom of Libestal. Unable to remember anything from before their arrival, they become entangled in the kingdom conflicts. Like, that makes it sound like it's their original selves, but I'm pretty sure in the trailer it's like, oh, alternate versions. The girls are asked to defend the land from looming danger and thus entrusted with the kingdom's fate. It is a collection of stories in which the members of Fall of English play a part through streams, animations, and songs raw and new. Immerse yourself in fresh narratives woven from myriad realms beyond. I thought it said somewhere that like it was an alternate timeline in the trailer, but I guess not. Again, no, I have no idea how long this is gonna go, because I also literally saw like chapter 1, so it's like, oh, okay. This seems like it's gonna be going on for a bit. I would think at least a year, but I'm not sure. I guess this is Once Upon a Time, so you could say like it's a different time period. Maybe. I don't know. Like, it just seems odd to me that like, because it really seems like it's trying to be an alternate version, but I guess they are still themselves. It's just they don't remember. Even though, again, Gura is now Gaogura, not Gargura. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Why does my brain work like this? Why does it care more about lore than anything else? I hate it. Oh, I didn't put this on shuffle the entire time. Nice. God dang it, man. Yeah, I guess you could say it happened in a different time. So now we have time traveling. You know, it's now all of them can time travel, not just Ame. And Crony, I guess, probably. Warden of Time could probably time travel. It's like, I'm so lost, dude. I mean, they're breaking dimensions, that's for sure. Because I don't know what dimension we're in, you know? Like, where are we? What is this? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? I don't remember the rest of it. That would have been perfect for that. Well, that's another thing too, like I just forget stuff a lot too. It's like I feel like that part of the roleplay wouldn't be that hard for me because like I can forget stuff easily. But like my brain will latch on to stuff and remember it and want to use it. That's another issue. So it's like I have pros and cons to it, you know, when it comes to roleplaying like that. So yeah, it's a real shame, you know. I'm just so lost. I just feel like it would make so much more sense as an alternate universe. Because I feel like you can still have alternate universe versions of yourself that's like basically the same. You know? Like, because you can make up any alternate universe. That's how my brain works. Like sometimes honestly I'm just like, oh, what another world, like if this light thing went different, you know, like, or like if my surroundings changed, you know, how would it be? And like I think about that a lot, and like I'm basically the same person, you know, like in my brain I'm the same person. So I feel like you can still use alternate universe and say that they're, and like they're still like the same people at the end of the day, you know. It's just with this one now they're met for the first time, you know. I feel like it is an interesting thought experiment though. Like obviously it would be inhumane to actually do it in practice, but just like for, you know, you have all these friends that like know each other and known each other for a while and like their history and everything, and then all of a sudden like they just forgot about those relationships, you know, and like now they're meeting each other like for the first time, you know. And I think that's very interesting. Obviously, that's not gonna be a perfect replica of it, because yeah, you still have that in the back of your mind, right? Like, so like, that's not gonna be like, oh, this is what happens. Like, obviously not. But it is like an interesting thought experiment and like a pretty cool idea. That's why like I was like, yeah, it's a cool idea. Because just like the idea of like these people who like obviously know each other very well, like all of a sudden like have amnesia. It just seems like amnesia specifically like their relationships though. That's what's weird about it. It's like the relationships with each other is like the only thing they have amnesia about. Everything else is fine. It's very bizarre. I mean, yeah. Where's the freaking, I was gonna say game theory, but I guess it could work as a game or film theory, because film theory would be YouTube for like Hololive, but then game theory for Minecraft, because they're playing Minecraft in it. So yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna get on about the lore of it. I'm lost. It does seem like though they are trying to push some stories with it, because with Callie's is like, oh, like Reapers shouldn't be like ending the lives early, and I'm sure they were going for a story there. I'm really bad at it though, that's my thing. Like I want to write like stories and all that about like actually having a meeting, like an applicable meeting, but like I'm so bad at interpreting them myself. Like it's so bad, because I'm sure there is a message there and I just can't get it. Like my brain doesn't get it. I'm one of those people that you often will need to spell it out for me. I'll be honest. Yeah, you gotta spell it out for me, because yeah, my brain doesn't work like that. It typically doesn't work like that. Like, I'm sure like some of those like deep messages I could get, but yeah, with that I could not. I mean, with Fates, I saw the parallel of like European imperialism in it. I think that's just because I'm also interested in history, so that's why. And also, like, I think that summer was going to my sophomore year, so I literally just finished world history where we talked about imperialism, so it was also like fresh in my mind too, so that also helps. Yes, because I believe summer's 2022, so that, yeah, that would have been my sophomore year. Summer going into sophomore year. And always, it's crazy, man. I started like in 8th grade at 14, and like constantly been doing it too. I've not stopped. The only like kind of break I've taken was an unintentional month-long one, and as I said, it wasn't intentional at all. It's just everything went wrong that made it so I couldn't stream for a month. I was actually gonna stream like, I think a day in there, and then yeah, my computer broke and then I couldn't stream. So yeah, it was an unintentional month-long break, but it did make me rebrand. The only reason I did rebrand though, honestly, is just because of like, I was kind of worried about copyright if I did get popular. Like, I didn't want to deal with that at all. So I just did that just in case there would have been like any potential copyright things going on. You know, because I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, that was the only reason. I will probably make callbacks to it. To Iron Cold Sea Boston. I probably will. Even though nobody will remember that era because nobody was watching during it. But, you know. I mean, nobody's watching now, but that's also just because I haven't made shorts, and I should. I just keep not doing it. I think again though, like if I just had headphones, like it'd be a lot easier. I think it's because like I have to switch earbuds. For some reason, it's like the switch of the earbuds that's hard for me. I guess because like the headphones are already in, so I can just put them on. Because even when I put the other earbuds in to connect them, like, I don't know, man. My brain's like, oh, well, I want to just switch these to now watch videos with these now. I think it's because my body's also been used to that. But like if I have headphones connected to my computer, like obviously then those are for the computer. So then it's a lot easier to like be like, okay, now I'm going to do stuff on the computer with it. Because like it's always weird when I have my earbuds in and like connected to my computer. Because obviously I'm not used to have my earbuds in when I'm on my computer. Because it's pretty much only like when I'm playing a game. And that's about it. Even then, like it's like a game on stream basically. Most of the time I don't. Tekken is like the one exception where I actually will have the game audio in still. But yeah, for the most part I just don't have the music on at all. I just watch a video or like listen to music on my phone. Because yeah, I don't even listen to music on my computer. I mean, why would I? Like, because I feel like it'd be like, oh, like the headphones, but like, no. Like, I don't have headphones. So, like, no. Doesn't work like that. I just wish those ones didn't break for specifically the PC jack or something like that. Like, I think it's a headphone jack that's messed up. Because it works fine whenever I plug in the speakers, like, every time. It doesn't break at all. So I feel like it's something with the headphone jack as well. And it's like not in there properly. But yeah, hopefully if I remember when we check out like the GPU and stuff to also check out the headphone jack. See if anything's going on with that. Anything's damaged, stuff like that. My hip's been bothering me this whole time. It's very annoying. God dang it, hip. I hate you. You suck. I hate this hip. It's not fun. Oh God. I also digital Palestine stuff. Even Britain's like followed up on that too. Like that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I said before, but I always feel bad about like rating the warm and comfy people that like obviously want nothing to do with politics. Because that's what I talk about mainly. And it's just like, oh well, this feels awkward then. And like also like it's like, oh, it's a good way to build your audience, but like that's not what those people want. You know? Maybe it's like one or two, but that's about it. Now obviously my social skills suck because I haven't talked to anybody except my mom in like 3 months. I mean, that's about to change in 2 days. But yeah, it's not great. That thing right there, it's not great. I'm gonna hate having to drive there though, that's for sure. Honestly, gonna probably be the least favorite part of my entire day. Cause I think I drive back won't be that bad because I can literally just sit in there and wait until like pretty much everybody's gone and then leave. And I think the traffic wouldn't be that bad, but yeah, the morning is gonna suck. Actually on Wednesdays, because I stay an hour after because I do Quiz Bowl. I can, like everybody's definitely leaving for sure. I like would have left, so that also. Honestly, even then, I probably will have people who were in there like as well, like leave before me. Because I feel like I do so bad with, like, definitely if like I'm in between two cars, I'm gonna do so bad. Yeah, because I feel like I'm too defensive, and then I'm probably gonna get rear-ended at one point. Like, I just feel like there's some people who just shouldn't be driving. And like, I'm not talking about like exclusively the people with road rage, because like they definitely shouldn't. But like, I'm saying also like people like me who just like fidget the whole time. Like, I think it's a bad idea. It doesn't make any sense for me to drive. Like, I shouldn't be. Because I'm like so fidgety, I can't like keep a constant speed or like stay on the road like in the middle of it. Like, I feel like I'm just like a hazard. And it's like such a bad idea. But I mean, it's the only way we can get around in this freaking country. It freaking sucks. Like, that's just another positive of public transportation. It's like, yeah, like, I mean, also it helps like economy and like, you know, getting people to places. Like, and they don't have to worry about like their parents or something being home, or like someone else in the house being there, or like they not having a car. It has puts less cars on the road as well. Like, also like those people who probably shouldn't be driving just because of how their brain makeup is, like, you know, they don't have to drive then, and like that's obviously less danger as well. And so like it just sucks that like we like barely have that. It's not fun. That's for sure. And like also I feel like it just puts a lot of stress off of a lot of people's lives, because a lot of people don't want to do it because it's stressful. And like also driving stresses them out. And so like yeah, that also would relieve a lot of stress on people's lives as well. It's like public transportation just, it makes sense. Also, if like all these people want to go in the same spot too, like yeah, obviously take a bus and send them to the same spot. It's not that hard, you know? We do it with school buses. I don't understand why, like, well, I know why. It's because the auto companies. But freaking, like, it's still stupid. We have school buses and then not regular buses. Or something to get people around other than like Uber and Lyft. Like the paid services. It's dumb. Or taxi. Yawn again, also. Dude, I feel like I only yawn when streaming. Or like, it's like at the end of the day, but like, even during like the middle of the day when like I'm streaming, it's like it's the only times I yawn. I don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And now they're just destroying the roads. That's awesome. Like yeah, that is they're just breaking all these roads. Nice. There they go. Nice, they're still doing the anti-Hamas stuff. That's awesome. You know, even though yesterday was literally a protest against Netanyahu. Fantastic, great, good job, Biden. Jesus, man. This is the main, like one of the main reasons people wanted you to drop out. And also why this is even remotely a close race with Kamala as well. Like, Jesus, dude. Because it's so blatantly obvious. Even most of America's like, yeah, no, that's just bad. And it's like, they're not doing anything. Like, they just like, nah, see, it's still this way, right? And it's like, no. You freaking idiots. I think the one person was right when it was like, yeah, no, they don't really care about democracy. They care about like just helping out with war crimes. It's like, because if they cared about electability, they would, like, even if like, sure, they wouldn't have to care about morally, but like on electoral sense, like, it makes sense to do it. It doesn't even make any sense to not do it. Like, I don't. Why? I hate that people just, it's all about the green pieces of paper with ink on it, man. I hate it. If I could just burn all the money in the world, I would do it. Like, if I was given an opportunity, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Because I'm sure, like, a lot of people have just been brain broken by money as well. And it's brought a lot more stress into the world than, like, we could have ever imagined. And like, yeah, I don't think I'll see like a world without money in my lifetime, but I just want to always talk about it just to like get the idea moving, give it some steam. Because like, if you don't talk about it at all, then like people won't consider the possibility of it, you know? So like, I got to talk about it a little bit. I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't. It's just the concept of money is so stupid. It's like, oh yeah, like we lived on a history of bartering, so naturally we have a like we should have a universal bartering tool. Which yeah, sure, that would make sense if it was true, but it's not. So that whole reason that people give about why currency is important, yeah, yeah, no, it's not true. Therefore, like the whole reason money exists is dumb. And built off of a falsehood. Like, nothing will ever make me laugh more and like made me so like firm on my stance than just seeing a freaking paragraph that said like, oh well, you see, if we didn't have money, you see, a mechanic would have to find a farmer with a broken car to get food, otherwise they wouldn't get food. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not how that works. You know what the farmer would do? It would be to give the food. If that's how society worked, farmers would have ran our society for millennia. But, oh, that's interesting. They were often at the bottom of the caste system, or like second bottom, above slaves. Wow. Yeah, that doesn't seem like, you know, they had that much power. You know, if they just didn't give the food, you know, like, I don't know, man. Those tyrannical farmers, man, they'll get you. Like, what? Doesn't make any sense. They're gonna give you the food because they care about you. Because they're human beings and they want to see other humans live. They don't want to see them die. It's that simple. And then also people get brain broken, and then that's what when people want someone to die, you know? Like, that's when that happens. People aren't just like good and evil. Like, no, there's a process, man. And often a process with someone's mind that they're not even sure is going on, you know? They had that going on, but then I took them down there, and it's like, I hate it. Freaking sucks. Yeah, no, that explanation was so laughably horrible. It made me the most firm on my stance that currency shouldn't exist ever. Because like, I wanted to hear like actual like arguments, and then that came up as the top answer, and I'm just like, yeah, nope. Yeah, absolutely not. Because I think that was a government website too that said that, or something like related to the government, something like that, or like economics, something like that, and they just gave that, and I'm like, wow, that's just entirely not how society would work. I will say one thing that I think people use as a joke, but I'm sure also kind of think, is like whenever in like a low stakes situation someone's just being like greedy or something like that, and then someone's like, oh well, this is why communism wouldn't work. And like, I'm sure most times people say that as like a joke, but I'm sure also sometimes they actually like kind of believe that, and it's like really stupid, because obviously people are different in a game with no stakes. They're going to act differently than with like in a real life scenario where life and death is on the line, you know? Like, obviously they're gonna be horrible people in a game because there's no stakes. These aren't real people. They're just like pixels, you know, at the end of the day. But like, if it was the real world, no, they're gonna actually help them. Like, it's not that hard, man. And like, saying that communism would work because of that is a stupid argument. If people actually do use that. I'm like, again, I'm sure it's mostly a joke, but like, if people actually use that as an argument, it's stupid. Because that's not how life works. Because there's a bunch of factors that go into why people act the way they do. Again, I think that's why also like rich people that feel the way they do, because there's no stakes. Like, if they lose that one person, it's fine. Who cares? They'll just hire a new one. There's no stakes to it. You know? So they don't think about the human element, because there's no stakes to it. They've already made it, you know? They don't need to worry about that. Who cares about how this other person is doing? Yeah, it's just... Money has brain broken so many people. And it's dumb. And it should be gone. I can't wait for when I run for public office and people use this as like a thing against me. Like, that's gonna be awesome, dude. This man wants to burn all the money in the world. It's like, yes, because money is stupid. It's just we never really thought about it because we haven't. Our schools don't teach us critical thinking, so we don't get to the point of like how like money is just like, oh yeah, it's a social construct. The only reason it's worth anything is because we said it was. But in reality, we could just then say like it's not worth anything, you know? And then that's it. Money is dead. You know? But like that would have to be a crazy communism version probably in order for that to happen. Which is why also it's probably never gonna happen in our lifetime. I wonder realistically how many rules you would actually need and like laws you would need to make. Like, once you got to that point, how many laws would you actually need? Like, if you have the mental health, you have like the awareness, right? And like you teach that awareness to people and then you make the crime rate as low as possible. How many laws would you actually need? And like people who would want to commit crimes. I feel like that's also an interesting thought experiment that obviously we're not going to see in a lifetime, but just interesting to think about. Well, I mean, also our plan's probably going to die before it gets to that point. We have like 5 years left. You know, we have like the hottest recorded days, and yep, we have no signs of a Green New Deal. And I'm pretty sure actually they're supporting fracking, which is only going to make it worse, I'm pretty sure. So that's awesome. This is what I mean about the protesting, man. You can't go complicit. You can't be complicit with these people. Like, sure, they're the lesser evil, and like if you want to vote for them, that's fine. But like while they're in office, you can't grow complicit with them. You have to like go against this stuff, man. Because otherwise this happens. Or we're kind of in like a checkmated scenario where like I don't think we'll ever recover from climate change at this point. Like there's no way it's going to get done in 5 years is what I'm saying. It's not going to be that sharp of a turnaround. Absolutely not. Because I mean, we're going to have at best a Kamala term, which is probably not going to do anything because I think also Biden didn't do anything as far as Green New Deal. In fact, he wanted more drilling. And then, yeah, I think Kamala's going to be very similar. So yeah, it's real bad. I'm hoping after this though, like Tim Walz then could be the president, because it seems like he actually does the good stuff. You know, he doesn't just say it, he actually does it. Yeah. I think the thing that would be annoying about me running for public office though is like if I did, like if this works out, right? Like content creation, then I feel like people are like, oh, well, they're not like me. And it's just like, I want to help you though. Like, I don't understand why the seeds of distrust are in there, you know? Like, because I still want to help you. Just because like I was an entertainer and actually made it, like, it doesn't mean I still want to, like, I don't want to help people. And I feel like people would just use that against me and it'd be very annoying. I mean, I think we are probably going to move closer to an era of like people are actually going to look at policy. And like that's actually where they're going to judge it now, not just based off of like vibes or something like that. Not saying that people did that like a ton before, but I'm sure it definitely happened more often. But it seems like we are drifting closer to the point of like, yeah, people are honestly looking more at policy, not just vibes and what their background is and all that. I will say another reason though why like the election's so close is because of how far right Kamala's going. If she just went left and progressive, she would win. But she's too scared. Oh no, the people's lives would be better. Like all you had to do is basically say free healthcare and you would win. That's like I think the only thing you would need. Well, and obviously arms embargo, but that's it. I'd say free healthcare, arms embargo, and that's all you need. You would beat Trump. I mean, obviously you should go further than that, but I'm just saying, like, I think you would destroy him, and you would literally just need those two things. And also saying why the wall is stupid and how immigrants actually aren't bad as well. That's another thing. The only reason that Republicans win on that issue is because the Democrats just gave it to them. For like no reason. Other than like xenophobia. And it was like, yeah, xenophobia is pretty cool. It's like, why? Like, it's very clear that a lot of these people run for office and not to actually help people. Either that or like these people just don't realize how like actually if you just say progressive policies they'd win, most likely. But like they're like, oh, it's so radical. It's like, no. If you just do what Tim Walz does where he just owns it, then like it's very ineffective. It's why Tim Walz is so good at what he does. It's because they try to put the labels on. It's like, yeah, okay. Like, that's literally Walz's response. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. And it works. Because, yeah, the label, it's just a word, you know? Or like a label. It doesn't mean anything. Alright, ooh, scary word. Like, no. What are you talking about? I just hate it. Because, again, this campaign would just be so easy to win. Like, Bernie would wipe the floor with this man. I'm sure even in 2016 he would have. But I mean, yeah, it's also very clear they don't want a Bernie in office because then he'll become progressive, pass progressive stuff, or like executive orders on progressive stuff, and then they're screwed. Even the centrists, they're screwed. You know? And also if they actually pass recalls too, they're screwed. That's why I think honestly it would probably be best to do that one early on. Because I don't think centrists would realize like they also would be targeted by that. For like a more progressive candidate. But yeah, I think that's one of the first things you pass if you're a progressive lawmaker is recalls on the federal level. Because like, yeah, I think centrists would go along with it. Because like, yeah, the Republicans, right? You would cast recalls on these guys, but then you would notice as you become more and more progressive and people are like, oh, these ideas, like these things are actually helping me and like good for me. Then like, yeah, they're like, oh, well, we want people in office that does this stuff. It's why these corporations are trying so desperately to hang on to it. And why they're lucky that it's a two-party system that we have. Because if it was three-party and we had a left-leaning party, they'd be screwed. Because I do think America is getting more left, generally. I think the rural areas are getting more right, but I think in general with America, it's getting more left. Like, I honestly could see a progressive person win the Democratic nominee, maybe even in 2028, honestly. Yeah, and I think young men are just becoming more right because of the things that they're interested in are just surrounded with right-wing ideology. And so, yeah, I think also if you're a left-winger, you need to fight that as well. And the gender dysphoria. Combat that as well. But, yeah. Otherwise, I think America as a whole is getting more left. Because I'm sure also like women and like minorities are the ones who are more likely to vote than men. Like white men. I'm sure they're like honestly probably the Democrat with like the least voter turnout, I guess. US demographic. Oh god. Graphic with worst voter turnout. 2018 to 2022. 2/3 voted in 2020. 2018 election had a 49% turnout, which was the highest rate since 1914. Oh, this includes 2022, so yeah, it was even higher than 2022. Yeah, 46%. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I feel like this shows, like, if people just came out and voted, man. Share of citizens 18 or older in 2018. 2020 and 2022 was way more Republican. That's weird. Oh, these are percentages, so 8%. Well, yeah, no, because... Huh. I guess it is a small person. It's like the smallest percentage, though. There's also 2018, 2020 were Democrat. That's weird, because, like, 2022 was such a... Oh, in 2018, though, they were 18, so that makes sense, actually. Yeah, because I'm going to say Gen Z did, like... were overwhelmingly Democrat. So actually, yeah, that does make sense. Because that was who was 18 or older in 2018, not 2022, or like whenever they voted. But I mean, I guess they were 18 in 2018 though, and then voted in 2020 and 2022. Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds at the time then. Helped decide that a lot. But yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, white's more Republican, and then all the rest of the demographics are more Democrat. Man, who would have got? Who would have guessed? Who would have got? Oh, whites did vote more consistently? Huh. Actually, yeah, because Hispanic voters don't vote a lot. 47%, 2018, 2022 voted none. Yeah, whites do. Huh. I would assume that's probably because of their conditions, right? Their material conditions. There's gonna be something more to that. Like I find it hard to believe that that's the case. Like I feel like there's probably something else going on with that. At least to me anyway. Why are Hispanic voters gaining, like becoming Republican? Oh yes, let's, build a border on the freaking my own people. That sounds like a good idea. Like, what are you talking about? So weird. Yeah, but a lot of the voters are older as well. It's very clear. Yeah, it's just so weird, the white vote. Like, it's so odd to me. Like, I feel like that's hard to believe. Okay, yeah, less than 50,000, 59% are non-voters. So yeah, I think it is to do with material conditions. It's gotta be, like, something to do with that. Like, I feel like it's gotta be to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. And a lot more Democrats vote, or people vote Democrat vote absentee ballot, or by mail, and then Republicans vote in person. Wait, I feel like it's also weird though to do the in-person stuff for 2020 because it's 2020, especially compared with 2022. But I mean, whatever. I feel like if you want to use those demographics, you should have done like 2018 and 2022, stuff like that. But I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, this is odd. I guess though, like, yeah, there probably wasn't a whole lot of enthusiasm for Democrats, even though they very much underestimated in the midterms. But I think especially with this upcoming election, there wasn't very much enthusiasm because of what policies they're talking about. And even then, I think Kamala's losing. She's definitely going to lose a lot of the steam that she had at the beginning. Like, even leftists, I feel like were invigorated, you know? And especially after the Tim Walz pick. And then she screwed it up real bad. To just basically lose all the left vote. Like, that. Why also I say, like, if she's right on unity, then it's very dumb. It is very stupid. Like, it's just so weird that it's still running like the, oh, Hamas bad narrative, because, like, people don't believe that. Well, like, I'm sure, because, like, Hamas is a terrorist group, so, like, yeah, condemn them, but, like, Israel's done nothing wrong kind of thing, you know? Like, it's such a stupid thing to do. Why are you still running on it? so dumb. I've talked about it like 3 times now, and every time it freaking blows my mind. Good lord. Ugh. Eh. I figured what I was talking about. And then I don't want to start anything. I should really start streaming games again. I think my problem though is just like my body's getting used to like while I'm streaming not doing anything, like playing a game or something. So now it's just not doing it. And I need to change that. Ow, my back. That hurt. That didn't feel great. I didn't appreciate it. I don't even know if I'm gonna reach 2 hours, man. It might just be an hour and a half Sunday stream. All honesty. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I might be done, who knows? Well, if you watch the VOD and see the timestamp, you'll know if I'm about to be done or not. Yeah. I was actually gonna talk about something else back with the freaking OEN thing, and I forgot why I was talking about all that. I forgot, or like my lack of not bringing it up. I just forgot what it was. That's nice. That's very nice. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I might just end it because I don't have anything to talk about and I don't want to start anything. I'm also probably losing my mind at this point, seems like. Ow. 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 Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'm pregnant. I've really lost my mind. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna end it. These last like few minutes have been pointless. Honestly, the first time I said that you could just leave and miss absolutely nothing. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll do it. Yeah, screw it. Bam. Bam. There you go. And then all platforms I will 6464. So yeah, I'll see you Tuesday after my first day of school at 7:30. Did I change it? I did change it. Yay, okay. I'll see you then. Goodbye.